So let's try to understand what Fulkerson algorithm through this example. Here I have written the basic constraints that are to be considered. I have already told you these constraints. Let's revise them. First constraint is that the flow from an edge must not exceed the capacity. Second is the incoming flow to the edge is equals to the outgoing flow. Means the flow that is coming towards the edge must be out of the edge, and the out of the edge flow must not exceed the flow that is incoming to the edge, right? See here I have taken this graph where S is source and T is sink. Also, to make calculations of the path, I have drawn a table with two columns. First is augmenting path that I have told you already, and second is bottleneck capacity. So as we will take the path in side by side, we will start calculating its bottleneck capacity. See, I have taken this example. On the edge here I have taken two parameters that are separated by slash. The first parameter tells about the flow that is passing through the particular edge, and the second parameter tells about the capacity of the edge. Initially you will see that I have taken all the flow values as 0 because this is the starting point. So initially there is no flow to the network, and on the right side I have given the different capacities of the edges of the network, and in the last you will see that flow equals to 0. It means initially flow from source to the sink is 0. See, suppose the first augmenting path I have taken is SATT. See one thing here, I can arbitrarily taken any path, and my main motive is to maximize the flow. So let's consider the SATT path. See here, S is source, then I go to A, then I go to D, and then I go to T. So it is non-full forward edge augmenting path because the edges are in forward direction, and non-full because initially the edges were having 0 flow, right? So if I'll consider this path, then I'll calculate the bottleneck capacity as say SA is having capacity of 10, AD is having capacity of 8, means AD cannot outflow more than 8 units of flow. So it means the incoming flow to the vertex A from S must be 8 also, because AD is having capacity 8, right? So after taking 8 in flow, they will give 8 outflow and it will go to T, right? So I have updated the values here. Initially flow was 0, but once I have taken the path, the flow becomes 8, next 0 becomes 8, and next 0 becomes 8, right? So and also see the total flow becomes 8. Earlier it was 0 when there was no flow, but once the flow starts flowing, then it becomes 8 through the path SATT. See here I have updated the values. SA was having initial flow 0, but now it is 10. AD was having initial flow 0, but now it is 8, and this edge is full. It cannot be considered again because its capacity is equals to its incoming flow, right? DT edge is having flow of 8, but it is having the capacity of 2 left out because its capacity was 10 and 8 amount of flow is passed on, so it will be having 2 to be considered next time, right? So let's see which path we can take later on. See, we can take arbitrarily any path that will lead us to the maximum flow. So suppose if I take the path SCDT, right? So let's see SCDT from S to C. I am having capacity of 10, but flow is 0. Means I can take 10 amount of flow here, right? But next see, CD edge is having capacity of 9. So means I cannot take 10 according to SC edge because the incoming edge must be equal to the outgoing edge. Since CD is having capacity of 9, it cannot take the capacity of 10. So CD will pass only 9. Next, see DT. See, DT is having flow of 8 but the capacity of 10. Means the next time the flow I have to consider here is 2 only, because 10 minus 2 is 10 minus 8 is 2. So the bottleneck capacity for this path will be 2 because dt is having minimum capacity, that is 2. So let's again update the values from on SC path. I have updated the incoming flow is 2. On CD path I have updated the incoming flow is 2 because that was the bottleneck capacity for this path. And on DT I have updated the flow as 10 because earlier it was 8 and I have also passed 2 over it, so it becomes 10 and now it is full. It cannot be taken again for the next time. See, also I have updated the flow. Initially it was 8 but since 2 flow has been passed over it, so it becomes 10 now. So let's see which path I can take next on. So I have updated the values here. SCH is having the flow of 2, CDH is having flow of 2, right? And ADH is full, DTH is also full. The total flow is 10. So let's see which augmenting path we can take next. Here we will use some new concept, as I have told you in the starting about augmenting path types. The second type of augmenting path was non-empty backward edge. See here, if AD is the forward edge, right? So it can be used in the backward direction also. Means I can use it as DA also, providing that it has to be non-empty. Means AD edge will be full, then only it can be used in the backward direction. Since AD is full, it is 8 by 8, so I can use it in the reverse direction or backward direction, right? And one thing note here, that if the forward direction flow was full, then if we are taking the backward direction, then that flow will be 0 because the flow which was full, that was in the forward direction and backward direction is opposite to that, right? So suppose I have taken the next augmenting path as SCDABT. See, SCH is having capacity 8, means I can take the flow 8. CD is having capacity 7, 9 minus 2. TAH is having capacity of 8, right? Because it is in the backward direction, so it will be having full capacity, that is 8, right? And next I see that if I take AB, that is having capacity of only 4. Since we know that the constraint is that the incoming flow is equal to the outgoing flow. So if AB cannot pass on flow more than 4, then it cannot take flow more than 4. So SCH will take flow of 4, CDH will also take flow of 4 and DAH will also take flow of 4. So ABH will have the flow of 4 and it will pass flow of 4 to the BTH, right? Since BT was having capacity of 10 but the AB can pass only 4, so it will take only flow of 4 units, right? So the bottleneck capacity for this path will be 4 and the total flow of the network will be 10 plus 4, that is 14. Let's see the next augmented path to be taken. Suppose I took the path as SACDBT. See how? Firstly I took SA, that is having the residual capacity of 2, that is 10 minus 8, right? I can take. Then I took AC, that is also having residual capacity of 2, right? And CD is having residual capacity of 3. Means, okay, 3 is here. Then I can see DB is having the residual capacity of 6 and BT is having residual capacity of 6. Because 2 is minimum among all, so I'll take 2 here as the bottleneck capacity of this path and will update the value. See, here I will update the value as 10, right? Here I will update the value as 2, and then here I will update the value as 8. Then I'll update this value as 2, and I'll update this value as 6, and the total flow will become 16. See this way, right? Clear? So if I'll take this path, then the total flow becomes 16. Next I'll see which path I can take more, right? So if I'll take the path SCDBT, see how? If I'll take the path SCDBT, SC having its residual capacity of 4, right? So I can put 4 amount of flow here, right? And CD is having capacity of 1. So means SCH can also give flow of 1 only, right? SCDB. And DB is having residual capacity of 4, but I can take only 1. And BT is also having residual capacity of 4, but I can take only 1. So I'll update the values here. And the bottleneck capacity for this path will be 1, right? So I'll update the values here. So here the value will be, here it will be 7, here it will be 9, right? Here it will be 3, and here it will be 7, and the total flow will become 17, right? So next I'll see if any path is left out. See, I cannot take SA because it is already full. If I take SC, it is having residual capacity of 3, but if I'll go to CD, it is having 0 residual capacity, so there is no left out path behind. And the final network flow diagram will be like this, having the total flow of 17, and these are the augmenting paths, and these are the bottleneck capacities of the different augmenting paths. I hope you will understand this topic very well, as this is the important one, and a little bit difficult to understand, but I think you will understand it easily through this video. Thank you.